couple weeks ago, I went to karaoke with some friends, and karaoke is always fun. It's one of my favorite activities to do. And once in a while, I'll sing like a rap song, right? Like Eminem or Dr. Dre and whatnot. And it came across the part where there's like, sometimes there's cussing, and sometimes in karaoke, like you're just saying the words, but especially if it's like a gangster rap song, they might drop the N-word a few times. And it made me think, because for me, whenever I sing a song and has the N-word come up, I never say it for a lot of different reasons, right? But I will admit that when I was younger, I would sing along to these songs, and I would say it. It would be by myself. I would never say it out loud. But for me, in my mind, I thought, it's harmless. I'm not racist. 2, I'm saying it by myself. I'm not saying it to anyone else. And 3, I don't have any malicious intent. I'm not trying to be racist towards anyone. I'm not saying it in like a derogatory, like hateful way. But then, thank goodness, like I grew out of that, and I started to be more, gain some maturity and realize that it doesn't matter. Any of those reasons don't matter. That it's never appropriate to say the N-word in any situation, especially like if you're not black, if you're not part of that group, then you shouldn't be allowed to do that. And so there's this whole like politically correct thing, and some people who make the argument, whether they're white or something else or just not black, and they would say, why can't I say the N-word? It's not fair. I'm not racist. I have black friends. I don't mean it. I'm not racist. But it's still unacceptable. And it stems from this idea that you can't, it's like I don't say the N-word because it's out of respect and solidarity for my brothers and sisters, the human race, who they go through struggles of facing systemic racism and prejudice in their daily lives that I know nothing about, and I never will. And that word was once used, as an oppression, as a tool to oppress that race. And in more recent society, in more recent times, that group people have taken back the word and made it their own. And so it's kind of like they're taking back something that was taken from them, their identity, in this war that oppressed them. And so now they have it back, and now there's this whole thing of why is it okay for us to say it? Is it okay for other people to say the word? And in general, it's always not okay for anyone else to say the word. Whether or not they say it, it's not, that's not up to us, because that's their thing. But anyways, as a person on the outside, I don't believe it's ever appropriate, again, because it's like showing your support. It's like, one, why do you even need to say the word? What value does it give to you? Even if you're singing it as a song, you're not saying it from your own creation, you're just repeating lyrics of a song, still not acceptable. I think we need to realize and understand that having respect for and solidarity with others and empathy for their struggles, something we don't know about, is very important. And I think not saying a certain word won't kill you, but also it serves a greater purpose of saying, hey, I stand with you. In a related story, I had an old boss who was very conservative, very right-wing, very like anti-liberal, anti-millennial. He actually had his own radio show where he spouted a lot of political hate rhetoric about other people and people who didn't follow his viewpoints, and kind of would just trash them and other political figures. And one time I overheard him speaking with someone, and he was talking about like Black Lives Matter and the white guilt for people who have had slaves in the past, or have had a history or a family of slave owners, and having that sort of guilt and whatnot. And then what he said was, my family, my parents are immigrants from Czech Republic, and so my family weren't slave owners, so I have no white guilt over this at all. And so he just didn't care. He's like, yeah, it's not my problem, it's not my family, it's not my burden to bear. But and then I just went like, that's ridiculous. Like I couldn't even believe what I was hearing, because it doesn't matter if your family were slave owners and not having, it's like, he just didn't have any empathy at all for other people, for their struggles. It's funny because I think he inherently knows the injustice and the discrimination that groups of people in our society face, but he's just like, hey, it's not my problem, I didn't contribute to that, so I don't have to feel any guilt. But it's like, how can you just be so utterly lacking any morals or empathy for another group of people? It's like I'm sure he even realizes that these people go through things, and he's not denying the fact that it's true, but he's denying the fact that he should feel bad about it. It's like, okay, you might not need to feel bad per se, but you should stand in solidarity again and respect and empathize with your brothers and sisters, and not say, hey, that's not my problem. I don't care about that. I can say whatever I want because I didn't know, my family didn't own slaves. It's like, what? Like, what's wrong with you? So, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And so just to bring it back, again, the thought of the day is just empathy for other people. It's, even if you don't have that tie, even if you've done nothing wrong, it's just, you gotta put yourself in other people's shoes and know that your situation's always different. You guys are gonna know what each other goes through, so that's why you just have to always just think about other people and see where they're coming from and understand and connect with them. And it never serves any purpose to alienate or to marginalize or to attack or just to think you understand someone else. And to always just think about that, you know? So that's the thought of the day. That's why I don't say the N-word. It's because I stand with them and I support people who go through the struggles, and I realize there's a lot of injustice in the world, and we all need to stick together to fight it. And that's one of the ways that I do so, is by showing respect, because it's so easy not to, but again, it's so easy to also do it. So it's the thought of the day.